Thank you for clicking the video. My name is Rohit, and today we are going to learn 10 new idioms to sound like a native English speaker. So, without any further ado, let's check out the first idiom of the day. Leave no stone unturned. That means to do everything you can to achieve your goal. We can take a look at the example. I'll leave no stone unturned until I find out who did this. We can take one more example. I will leave no stone unturned until I am successful. So that means you're not going to stop you're not going to stop working hard until you get the success. You are successful. So first is leave no stone unturned. That means you do everything you can to achieve your goal. Let's go to the second one. Step up your game. That means to start performing better. We have an example here. If you want to win this competition, you'll have to step up your game. We can take one more example. If you want to get good marks in the exams, you'll have to step up your game. That means you need to start performing better if you want to be successful or if you want to achieve good marks or good grades in your exams. So keep calm and step up your game. Number three, shape up or ship out. As you can see, either start performing better or leave. I mean, you can take a look at the picture. She looks pissed. She looks very angry. I'm sure this guy is not performing and she wants him to perform as soon as possible because I don't see, it seems that it doesn't have much time. We can take a look at the example. So look at her. She says, "This is the last time I'm telling you to arrive on time. Shape up or ship out." So that means you perform better or you have to leave the office. Okay? You can tell your friends, your girlfriend, or anyone to shape up or ship out. The next example is shoot from the hip. That means to speak directly. People say speaking directly is a good way of, doing things. But, nowadays people are sensitive and especially your senior, they don't like it. Look at this guy. I'm sure he must have spoken directly and look at him. He has turned into a Hulk and he's ready to kick his ass. Okay, let's take an example. If you want to get on well with your boss, try not to shoot from the hip next time. You don't want to offend him, do you? So I think, yeah, nowadays it's very important. You don't want to offend your seniors because they might stop you from getting success or going up the ladder. So try not to shoot from the hip. Okay, don't speak directly. Be nice. Yeah, you know, because you're looking for success. So shoot from the hip. That means speak directly. Next one is running on fumes. This is a good one. You can take a look at the picture. This guy looks so exhausted. He's fallen asleep. To continue to stay awake when feeling exhausted. You can take a look. The example is I'm sorry, but I've got to go home now. I haven't slept for 20 hours and I'm running on fumes. So, you have been working hard, you haven't slept for last 20 hours, which is a long time, and you're so exhausted you just want to fall asleep. That means, but you have to. You continue to stay awake because but you're feeling very exhausted. That means running on fumes. So let's take a look. Most of you are students, right? You have exams. What do? You try to utilize the time that you have so you don't sleep. You're tired, you're exhausted, but you stay awake so that you can study as much as possible before the exam. So what do you do? How do you feel? You feel that you're running on fumes. Next one is couldn't care less. That means it says used to express total lack of interest in something. You don't want to talk about something you're very, I don't know, you're not very much interested. So let's take a look. That man stole a bottle of wine from the shop. And you say, "Oh, really? I couldn't care less." That means you don't care. It doesn't matter, right? You can say, we can take one more example. Okay, I would like to speak to Ramesh. I would like to speak to John. So do you think I should do that? I mean, I don't know. Your friend likes to take your advice before start talking to someone, and you're like, that's your life. You want to speak to him, do that. If you don't want to speak to him, don't do it. I couldn't care less. Next example. Get your head around it to understand something. For example, I just can't get my head around the fact that Joe is leaving us. Look at this guy. He can't get his head around something. That means it's hard to understand. Okay, I can take one more example. Let's say Anna, she's not a bright student, but she has scored a very high marks in the exam. And you're like, I just can't get my head around the fact because she's an average student, but she has got such a high grade. So it's very hard to understand. Okay. Then we have a pull a rabbit out of a hat. That means to do something unexpected that may have seemed impossible, maybe in the beginning. Look at this guy. He seems so happy. He looks so happy because he has pulled a rabbit out of a hat. We have the example. I thought we were going bankrupt, but my partner pulled a rabbit out of his hat and we landed a major contract. So this guy was pretty sure that they are going to bankrupt. They won't have money, they have to shut down everything, but look at his partner, very happy. So he did something so unexpected, which was like very much impossible, but he pulled a rabbit out of his hat and they landed a major contract. You can say you got a friend and he's not a bright student, and you were under the impression that he's not going to pass the exam or the test, but he pulled a rabbit out of his hat and he passed the exam with the flying colors. So this is the expression. And we have once in a blue moon. So that means when something rarely ever happens. We have the example. We used to see him all the time, but now he just visits us once in a blue moon. So that means, for example, I mean, you used to meet him like every day, but now he's like, you meet him, I don't know, once in a blue moon. That's like once in a 6 months, once a year. That means that really happens. Look at this picture. Once in a blue moon. Rarely once in a very long time. So we only see our daughter once in a blue moon. So I'm sure their daughter is married. Maybe she lives in a different country, so they meet her, I don't know, very rarely. And the last one for the day is a stone's throw. That means very near. The hotel was a stone's throw from the beach. I loved it. So you went to Thailand, you love beach, so you actually booked the hotel. You were a little skeptical, but because you had no idea. But as soon as you visited the hotel, and you was very happy because you could see the beach was stone's throw from the hotel, and you love the fact. Like, yeah, the little guy, Chinese. If you love in a glass house, disaster is just a stone's throw away. I mean, it's very near. So I would thank you for clicking. I hope you learned something new. Please start using these idioms every day, day to day conversation, to speak more like an English speaker, the native one, because they like to use these idioms a lot. So you can also try that. If you have a suggestion, you would like to ask me a question, you can comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we try to post new lessons almost every day or every week whenever we have time. And if you have a doubt, like I said, you can always leave a comment. I would thank you once again for your time, and I will see you next in the next video. Till then, peace out. Have a good one.